Hey, Journey Castle Rock, this is Corey here, wanting to send a message your way to kind of give you a little bit of an update on our relocation situation for Sunday mornings. I know some of you were able to kind of hear an update on Tuesday evening for those who are involved in groups, and then for those of you able to make this Sunday morning, we're able to hear. But I wanted to leave a message for those of you who weren't able to make either, just to kind of get you up to date on where we were at. And so I want to kind of go back and kind of retrace a little bit here. In the middle of December, we heard from the property owner of our church building that he wanted to sell the building, and part of that was us vacating the premise. And he wanted us to vacate it by mid-March, but we wanted to come back and say, can you give us a little bit more time? And so we started working some lease agreement language, asking that for us to be able to occupy this building, at least to the end of April, if not to the end of June. And then along with that, subsequently, we also put together a team of people from this church to kind of help out with the relocation process, to kind of turn over every stone of places that we could find. And within that process, taking all of January to do that, we found no commercial real estate property that met our budget and what we needed in order to move forward with that and for the size of our church. On top of that, we looked at schools, and within our parameters and location that we were looking at, there was no schools that were available for us to move into, no daycares, no bars, nothing that we could begin to move towards. And so we began to look at some other options, and in that process, we found out through a connection that the church that is currently occupying Academy Charter was going to be transitioning out, or was planning on transitioning out of the school that they were meeting at by at least Easter, or at least by the end of April. And so we started to kind of set course, and as a relocation team agreed with moving in that direction, brought it to the board of directors for Journey, and they felt okay with us moving that direction. And so that was kind of the course we set. And 2 weeks ago on Sunday morning, I shared that with you guys and effectively said, let's do this. Well, a lot has happened within the past couple weeks. I've even sharing that message, and so I wanted to kind of get you up to date on what's kind of been going on the last couple weeks and how that pertains to us as a location and where we're meeting on Sunday mornings. Is that circumstances that we've been kind of facing here. One is that the lease agreement that we've been trying to put together that we had at the end of December has not been signed by our property owner. And we've continued to kind of throw paperwork his way to have him sign it, and even a couple weeks ago sent it again to him, and he has not signed any of the paperwork that we have for our lease. And so effectively we are occupying this current facility without any legal lease agreement. Essentially we're kind of squatting here in this place. And at the same time, we do know that he's been showing the building and trying to sell this as quick as possible. And so that's been putting us in a precarious position that we know that at any moment he could come and say, I've sold the building, and you just start moving things forward here even quickly. And so we knew that was something that we were facing. Two, when we knew that we were going to make the transition mid-December, when we got that information, started sharing with people, we started getting word, and it was different circumstances, different situations all came into play, but that there were some key people within our church that were going to be departing for various reasons. Some that didn't necessarily want to be part of a portable situation, a portable church. Some just wanted a fresh start, and some were moving to new cities, new states, and these were people that were help serving or were good givers within our church. And so we just began to see some of those obstacles we were facing. And then as we began to put together the budget and kind of see what the need would be for us to make a move to a new location, become portable, it was looking like that was going to be costing around $50,000 to make that move that we're going to have to raise within 4 to 6 weeks. And on top of that, find 40 new slots each month for people to sign up for loading in and loading out for us to do church. And then kind of one of the last things that kind of came our way is that a week and a half ago, got an email from the business administrator over at Academy Charter, and he just let us know that the church that is currently meeting at that space, let him know that it doesn't look like they're going to be out at the end of April. If not, they might not be out until the beginning of the school year. And so circumstantially, that puts us in a place where we have nowhere to be able to go on a Sunday morning. And but yet we have to make some decisions. On top of that, like in this whole process and the struggle, it just feels like, being in a place that we're just trying to push a boulder up a hill. And as a church, finding the strength to make the transition is we're just not at a good place to be able to have that strength to be able to do that. Again, on top of that, just personally, it's just really been hitting me hard. And this is just me being vulnerable and authentic to you guys. Is that just with all this, just like making me question, just like how am I? Where am I at? Like, what role should I play? Like, I know I'm supposed to be a pastor, but even just kind of that internal wrestle with what is my role within the church and moving forward, and what place do I find? On top of that, for those of you who don't know, circumstantially is that our mother church, Journey Centennial, is in the midst of an amazing building campaign and finding phenomenal momentum. And they're doing, they're raising funds in order to build a location that will be right off of I-25 and Castle Pines, right between Castle Pines and Ridgegate. And if they meet their pledge goals, they will start digging dirt here, it looks like around April. And the potential, again, weather permitting, is that they could have their building finished right off I-25 and Castle Pines a year from this month. And so that's one thing that's going on. But even at that location, they recently had a pastor that transitioned out of that church to go do a church plant down in Texas. And so even from Journey Centennial, they're down a pastor, and Scotty Priest, who's up there, is really the only pastor on staff that is able to really love on and meet the needs of the adults there. And so both of us, as two locations, are finding ourselves in a place where we're either not finding a place to go to, or a lot of momentum is being built in a new building campaign, and just going like we need to find out how we can strengthen one another and moving forward. And so the decision that we have come to, because of all the circumstances and situations that we have found, is that we're going to do this, is that we have made a decision that we are going to regroup and realign as two locations back together again here. And in that, to be able to re-strengthen one another through building the hub and just finding healthy leadership, so that later on we can relaunch and move forward with a new plant. Obviously, one of them looking at being in Castle Rock, and then obviously wanting to see more plants around the Colorado area too that are about Journey and Parker and Littleton and Vail and wherever that can be. And so that is the decision that we have made, is that we're going to regroup and realign. How does that look practically? Timeline-wise, is that we have made the decision that we're going to do 3 more Sundays in this current location that we are at. And so March 13th will be the last time that we are here at this place. Reason why we come to that decision is that we look forward toward Easter on March 27th, is that we want to get together as both locations celebrate our resurrected Lord as Journey Church, but we didn't want that Sunday to be the first Sunday for people to experience Journey Centennial, but we wanted people to experience a normal Sunday, and so that's why March 13th is our last Sunday. March 20th will be the first Sunday up there, which is the Sunday before Easter, to allow everybody to have the opportunity to experience a normal Sunday at that location, again, as we realign, as we regroup together. Plus, there is also a financial decision to that too, and just being good stewards of this location and transitioning out of obviously the non-legal lease agreement that we have found ourselves in. For me, what does that look like as staff? Is that the plan is for me to graft back in as a staff pastor with Journey Centennial, for Kristen to be able to find herself grafted in with different administrative responsibilities up there. Ken will be transitioning out of his role and beginning to pursue some of the dreams and some of the things, passions that God has put on his heart. And then with the kid and student staff, just combining those together on a Sunday morning to provide more help for our merging together and what we have going on. And so there's a couple things that I just want to communicate to you guys in this process, because some of you guys might not be expecting this news that we're showing, but that I'm sharing with you guys here. But there's 3 things that I just really want to communicate in this process. And the first thing is that even though we're transitioning out of this location on a Sunday morning, we believe that God has worked over these last 3 years. He's worked mightily. That the 3 years that we've been here this season it's not a failure. That we have seen people come to Christ. We've seen people baptized. We've seen marriages change. We've seen people who are sick become healed. We've been able to come alongside and just provide a net for people just to be able to take their next step with Jesus. And in that, I celebrate that even though we're transitioning out, it's not a bad thing. It's a new thing that we're going on to, and we just know that that's the next step for journey. It's not the forever step, but it's the next step for us to be able to take. But these 3 years, God has worked mightily. The second thing I just want to share with you guys is that we want to finish well, that we have 3 more Sundays here at this location, and I would love for you to be able to prioritize coming here for the services, just to be able to celebrate together what God has done in the midst of the processing, the emotions, the grieving. As you go from here, let's commit as a church to meet here these next 3 Sundays and just say that we finished well as a church, and we came together and we celebrated the season here at this location with the view that God is moving us to the other location. And the last thing I want to communicate to you guys is to stay with Journey. As we make this transition, the one thing that we're ending is just meeting here at our downtown location on a Sunday morning. But with that, we are going to still be doing our groups. That even though it might be a 20-minute travel from here to other location, is that our groups are strong, our small groups are strong. And to be able to lean into that network of care that you have, those things are not going to end on a local manner for you guys to continue with the friendships that you have developed and the people that have come alongside and loved on you within this process. And Lindsay and I, we're committed to this. We know church can be messy. We know it can be frustrating. We know these detours can kind of catch us off guard, but we're sticking with this process. We're committing to everything. We're not running. We're not transitioning out. And we'd love for you guys to be a part of this transition with us for your greater Journey family. And so obviously, I've been dealing with a lot of emotions and the grieving, the process. I know that getting this news out to you, that you're starting this process too, but I want you to know that I am here for you. If you need to email me, I've got the email and my phone number too in the email that is connected this video link to you guys. But I love you guys. I care about you. Let's do this together in the process and trust that God has a greater plan. And even though we might understand what's going on right away, and we believe God is in this, and He will reveal to us our next steps. So thank you guys so much. Love you. Care about you. Talk to you later. Bye.